Steel Within, The Stoic Art of Inner Fortitude. Chapter 1, The Tempest Within. The rain hammered the windows like war drums. Inside, a man sat still. Eyes closed. Back straight. Breath slow. Outside chaos. Inside calm. The world called it strength. He called it practice. This wasn't just meditation. It was discipline, forged over years. The kind Epictetus once taught in a cold stone room. The kind Marcus Aurelius cultivated between battles. This was Stoicism. Not silence of emotion, but mastery of it. Chapter 2, The Age of Emotional Volatility. Today, we live at emotional extremes. Highs that feel like flight. Lows that feel like drowning. A like on your post lifts you for hours. An insult ruins your day. A headline shatters your peace. We've become hostages to reaction. Slaves to sensation. But what if there were another way? A life not ruled by moods or media, but anchored in reason? That's what the Stoics offered. They didn't promise happiness. They promised equanimity. A steady mind. A grounded spirit. An unshakable self. Chapter 3, The Stoic Creed. The Stoic doesn't seek control over others, only over the self. They accept fate, but never surrender effort. They live by this code. I control my thoughts. I choose my actions. I release what is not mine to command. This is not passivity. It is power, directed inward. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Every day, you are offered this freedom. But few accept it. Fewer live it. Will you? Chapter 4, The Diary of an Emperor. Marcus Aurelius, by title, ruled the Roman world. But in private, he ruled himself. He woke before the sun. Not to conquer land, but to conquer ego. He wrote not to boast, but to remind. Marcus wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others, unless you are doing so with a view to some mutual benefit." He had access to everything: wealth, wine, women, war. But he chose discipline. In the heart of luxury, he lived simply. Why? Because he knew the greatest kingdom is a mind at peace. Chapter 5, The Wound of a Slave. Epictetus limped. His master had shattered his leg years ago. The pain never left. But neither did his clarity. He was a slave, then a teacher. He owned no property, only ideas. And he believed no man could imprison your soul without your consent. Epictetus said, "Suffering arises from trying to control what is uncontrollable." In every moment he returned to this truth. What is mine to direct? What is not? And he focused only on the first. You can too. Chapter 6, The Fire of Senator Seneca. Seneca was a man of contradictions. He wrote about simplicity, while owning vast estates. He spoke of peace, while serving a bloodthirsty emperor. But in his writings, he burned with honesty. He called out hypocrisy, including his own. He urged people to prepare for misfortune, not when it arrives, but before. Seneca said, "He who is prepared for every emergency is equal to every emergency." When Nero ordered his death, Seneca did not beg. He opened his veins calmly, spoke wisdom to his weeping wife, and proved that dignity is stronger than fear. Chapter 7, Virtue Above All. For the Stoics, the goal was not success, not pleasure, not even happiness. It was virtue. To be good, regardless of reward. To be just, even when it costs you. To be kind, especially when it is hardest. This was their North Star. And when the storms of life came, they didn't ask, "Why me?" They asked, "How can I live this moment well?" That question changes everything. Chapter 8, Modern Battlegrounds. The Stoics never faced social media. They didn't deal with online mobs or algorithmic addiction. But their principles still apply. Scenario: you're insulted on the internet. Epictetus would say, "Is this within your control? If not, ignore it. If so, respond with reason." Scenario: You feel anxious scrolling through news. Marcus would write. You always own your attention. What you feed grows. Scenario, you lose your job. Seneca would advise. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Adapt, learn, rebuild. You are not defenseless. You are not powerless. You are simply untrained. Until now. Chapter 9. The Stoic Training Ground. If you wish to live stoically, don't wait. Begin with these. 1. The morning reminder. Each day whisper. I may lose anything today, my job, my health, even those I love. But I will not lose myself. 2. The premeditation of evil. Visualize hardship. Not to fear it, but to prepare. 3. Voluntary hardship. Fast once a week. Walk in the cold. Sleep on the floor. Teach yourself that you can endure more than you think. 4. The evening audit. At night ask, what did I do well? Where did I falter? How can I act better tomorrow? Write it down. Every night. This is the Stoic Gym. Chapter 10. The Modern Stoic. She sits in traffic and breathes. He gets insulted and doesn't reply. They lose money and stay calm. You wake up tired and still choose discipline. That's Stoicism. Not dramatic, not loud, but consistent. A life of inner steel wrapped in outer stillness. That's the strength we need. Not to dominate the world, but to not be dominated by it. Chapter 11. The Final Test. One day, something will shake you. A loss. A betrayal. A diagnosis. A collapse. You will feel lost. But if you've trained, if you've practiced, you will stand. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because you've built something inside that can't be taken. Seneca said, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Your test is coming. Prepare now, not then. Chapter 12. The Closing Word. You've walked through centuries. Listened to emperors and exiles. Read the words of men who faced death and chose calm. Now it's your turn. Close this page. Close your eyes. And begin your own stoic life. Today. Quietly. Powerfully. Steadily. Like a mountain. Like a flame. Like a stoic. Chapter 13. The Resilient Heart. Life will break you. Not once. Not gently. But again and hard. You will lose people. You will face injustice. You will be misunderstood, misjudged, left behind. What then? You do what the Stoics did. You stand where you are. And you remind yourself. The world owes you nothing. Everything given is temporary. Your response is eternal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is not apathy. This is resilience. The Stoics didn't teach you to avoid pain. They taught you to endure it with grace. Chapter 14. Modern Saints of Stoicism. You don't need to live in Rome. You don't need to write meditations. You just need to live with clarity, right now. The nurse holding a dying patient's hand, that's Stoic. The parent staying calm when the child screams, that's Stoic. The student accepting failure and trying again, that's Stoic. The firefighter who runs into flames, knowing fear but moving anyway. That's not Hollywood. That's virtue. The world is full of Stoics. Quiet ones. Uncelebrated, but real. And maybe one of them is you. Chapter 15. When life comes undone. What if your fears came true? What if the job is gone? The diagnosis is real? The relationship ends? You will hurt. You will grieve. You are allowed to. But beneath the waves of pain, you will remember. You are not your career. You are not your body. You are not even your reputation. You are the sum of your choices. That cannot be stolen. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Choose well. Chapter 16. The Final Conversation. Imagine sitting at a table. Across from you, Marcus. To your left, Seneca. To your right, Epictetus. They are not judging you. They are listening. You speak of your life, your struggles, your hopes, your fears. Then you ask, "What should I do?" Marcus says, "Live in agreement with nature. Accept, act, let go." Seneca says, "Do not postpone living. Begin at once." Epictetus says, "You are not your circumstances. You are your will." Then they vanish, and you are left, not alone, but guided. You know what to do now. Chapter 17. You, the Stoic. Today, you make choices. To complain, or be calm. To blame, or take ownership. To react, or reflect. You won't always get it right, but you'll try. And that trying daily, honestly, fiercely. That is Stoicism. It's not a label. It's a lifestyle. Not perfection, but progress. Not silence, but strength. Not escape, but engagement. A simple code in a chaotic world. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. Respond with virtue. You don't need to change the world. Just yourself. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything. The final word. This is not the end. It's the beginning. Close this story. Open your life. Choose your thoughts. Shape your actions. Guard your peace. Live not as the world demands, but as wisdom invites. Quietly. Bravely. Stoically. Forever forward.